Hi, I'm Rebecca Makkai. I'm here to invite you to join me for the online class, Five Things I've Learned About Grasping Point of View on the Page and in the World. This is a writing class because I am a fiction writer. It will be relevant to people writing creative nonfiction as well. I have noticed over the years teaching writing workshops, and I've taught many writing workshops, that when you get down not just to the problem in someone's manuscript or the sticking point, but the problem behind the problem and then the problem behind that problem, that something like 95% of the time, it comes down in the end to some kind of issue or unevenness about the point of view of the narrator or other characters in the story. We sometimes think because we memorized in school first person, second person, third person, singular, plural, that we have it down. The bad news is it is infinitely more complicated than that. The good news is I can explain it all to you. And often solving that one puzzle solves all these other problems with your manuscript that couldn't have been solved without backing up and making that kind of foundational decision. So since this is structured as five things I've learned, I'll tell you a little sneak preview of what those five things are going to be. First of all, we're simply going to talk about what point of view is um, and where it comes from, how that works in terms of our commitment to it as humans in the world, and how that might translate to the page. Specifically, how do we get depth and veracity of point of view? How do we really get into someone else's shoes? How do we see the world through their eyes? Sidebar, quick litmus test. When you picture your point of view character and you picture the scene they're in, are you looking at them or are you seeing what they see? And so often when I pin writers down on this, they admit that they've been looking at their character when on the page we're supposed to be looking through them. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about something that I call the ear of the story, meaning in theory, who is the narrative aimed at? Not the book buying audience, but who is really being addressed, even in a third person narrative. We're going to talk about understanding some of the psychology, concepts like theory of mind, and how to access a character's interior life, their thoughts. How do we integrate a character's thoughts with the actions and dialogue that go on in the world? We're going to talk about writing unfamiliar points of view, ones where you're writing from an identity maybe other than your own, a pretty fraught topic that a lot of people have questions about these days. And finally, we're going to talk about some ideas and exercises for breaking out of our familiar point of view ruts. I'm going to leave you with examples, reading recommendations, some exercises, some challenges, and hopefully a much deeper understanding of what point of view is and how you can make it work for you on the page and maybe even in the world too. I hope I see you there.